Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, today I feel like there's been a lot of, unfortunately, divisive and unnecessary personal remarks. I mentioned in my remarks earlier that all of us are entitled and bound by our oath to share our opinions, the opinions of those we represent, and we ought to be able to do so without derision and disrespect for each other. No member here should believe for a moment, and I don't, that any other member in this chamber or our governor desires to see the end of representative democracy. I think we need to take that step back and recognize that we're not enemies, that we care about this state and the people. It's easy to cast aside our opponents in this debate as simply caring about power and politics and party, but I believe with every part of my being that for the colleagues I serve with and the governor that I serve with, that is not true of any of us. It's also true that no member can believe that those of us speaking today in support of limited executive power are not also experiencing the devastating impacts of death and fear. It's wrong to assume that we're not communicating with doctors and experts and hospitals, because we are. I had a conference call with every single hospital in the Upper Peninsula, with not just CEOs, not just the business end, but with the medical boards, with the people who are giving this advice and speaking to us. I didn't come here without communication with them. And let's remember that the Upper Peninsula is larger than 5 other states in our country. Have those been experts that I speak to? Are they calling for a change? Yes, they are. And I've gotten more direct calls from them in the last week than I got from landscapers and gardeners. I'm a farmer. I'm farming with older parents and family members with lung problems. I'm sensitive to what's going on. I also recognize that my farm and that agriculture in our nation are in a situation that stands to devastate the food supply for this country in a way that's far greater than our current, even most radical extrapolations of the disease. If we don't, and it's not just send us money, what are we going to do about food? We have to get a chance to speak on these things. We have to get a chance to be here and work on these issues together with the administration. I got a call from a business owner who on Wednesday had one of his employees commit suicide. I spoke to a business owner yesterday in my district whose father died of COVID just on Monday. He went 30 days of a nightmare of his father dying of this disease and having to watch him die on a Zoom call. And yet he said to me, we've got to move forward with things. We can't continue to survive here in the Upper Peninsula under these current terms. Things have got to start changing, and our medical providers are saying, we can manage this crisis. Give us back that power to do so. And so I rise to say all of this because it's wrong for any of us to attack others' motives here today by just making assumptions and assuming that there's some sort of specific and evil intention in any of our hearts. I appreciate my colleagues. I appreciate what each of us is going through. We're all experiencing short-tempered and things. We need to share some grace with each other today as well. And I'll continue in my prayers for each and every one of you and for the people of this state today. Thank you, Mr. President.